All right, Linda, you're our coach today. Thanks for stopping by. I got my cocktail.
Woohoo, my cocktail.
All
Oh,
right. I got some questions for you.
certainly, certainly.
So, what do you do exactly and where can people find you?
Oh, all right. Well, I'm a master certified life coach, and I also mentor new coaches. I'm an author and a public speaker. So that's like all the titles. But what I really do, and I love to do, is like to help like smart people go from victims in their lives to heroes of their lives, to
Mm.
go from the spectator to the creator. It's all about transformation. And the thing I love to help them understand first and foremost is that they have absolutely everything they need already inside them. And I just want to shine my light in the dark corners of their inner wisdom to show them exactly what they know so that they can, go live their life as the creator and connect with who they are and what they're all about, create the career, the relationships, the life that they dream of.
Right, right. Is there any confidence required for that?
Well, no, it's funny. My little I am known as the clarity and confidence coach. So
Oh,
I help people get clear and confident so they can go big. Like that's my thing.
okay, gotcha.
So I help them gain the confidence. The confidence comes when you learn a lot more about who you are, not who you think you're supposed to be. So we got to kind of disconnect that
Mm,
right at the beginning.
okay. How would one make a guy confident wearing a hat like this?
Oh, he must already be confident to show up with a hat like that, right? I'm confident. I'm showing up with no makeup today, so woo, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm not super confident, but I just go for it anyways because I figured action always conquers fear.
Right, that's true. Well, and knowledge, and here's a really good point of knowledge. Went till today. Okay, that's better. It's off now. Let's
Oh,
just give it a minute
there
on
we
your
go.
side.
No, I
Okay.
can hear you. Fine.
All right. So here's the point of knowledge when it comes to confidence. You absolutely have no control over what somebody thinks of you. No matter what you do,
Mm,
their opinion is rooted in their personal. There's no way you can control who's doing what. So you just got to let go of that worry of what other people think about you because you can't control it no matter what you do.
mm. So you're saying people's opinion of me is none of my business?
Exactly what I'm saying. It's none of your business because it's out of your control.
Okay,
And,
gotcha.
and boy, what a waste of energy to try to influence that.
Right. You can't control other people, no matter, you
No
know.
matter.
So what do you do if someone is like, what if you were like bullied or like your parents were mentally abusive, verbally abusive? How do you how do you start to develop a confidence?
Okay, well, the first thing is to realize that bullies are so disempowered that they're just grasping for power. They are the most insecure people there are. I was bullied growing up, absolutely, on a number of occasions through middle school and high school, um, and in a relationship for about 6 years after that. And I recognized that my insecurity was attracting other people's insecurity, but except it was attracting the bully side of them,
Mm,
right? Because I was an easy target. And the thing to understand is that they don't have any power over you. The reason they act that way is because they feel so powerless.
mm-hmm.
It helps you shift your perception of how you see them. And then that's half of it. And the other half is to shift in just how powerful you are. And I know everybody, anyone especially who has been through bullying, the fact that you're still here, you know,
Yeah.
is testimony to how powerful you are because you can get through anything because look what you've already gotten through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My experience with bullies is they're always the most insecure, and they might have like a physical trait that makes them more dominating, or like uh, they might be super witty, so they're able to pick on people easily, but somewhere inside of them, they don't. They're just trying to gain self-esteem through making other people feel shitty.
That's right. And you know what else? You don't have to believe a word they say.
Yeah.
Why would you believe someone who's so insecure that they're grasping at power? Right?
Right.
They don't know you. They don't know who you are. They know nothing about you. Absolutely nothing about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know about you. You know that you're better than that. And if you don't, then that's where you start. You start inside.
Right. So, you said you were in a little bit of a rocky relationship, right?
Yeah.
So, the confidence coach, right?
Yeah.
Probably didn't have very much confidence for the first half of that relationship, or before you even realized that you're worth more than how you were being treated. So what did you do to kind of change that? Like, if you give me 3 steps, what would they be?
Right. Okay. Well, first of all, I didn't really know him back then because that was a long time ago.
Right.
But I must have known something, or else I wouldn't have got out of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So steps. Let's see. How to get out. All right. The first thing is you have to set an intention. You have to intend to get out. Well, first, no, that's not number one. Number one is you have to know that you deserve more, better, right? The relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship, and you cannot expect to have another relationship in your life that's any better than the relationship you have with yourself. So to know yourself and know what you deserve, okay, that is the very first step. The second step is to set an intention to get out, like intend that you are going to have a life that is worthy of you and who you are. Because without intending it, it's just a desire, and that doesn't get you that far. Intention tips the scales in your favor. So that's the second thing. The third thing is to believe it's possible. Because if you don't believe it's possible, your brain won't ask the magic question of how. How is such an important question. How might I do it? How did someone else do it? Right? You can't even look beyond to see how someone else might have paved the way before you if you don't believe it's possible. So believing that it's possible to have a life worthy of who you are, right? It's huge. So these are some internal fundamental steps. There are other external steps. Once you get that far, then how do you physically go about it? I actually have a coach that I mentored. She wrote an amazing book about how to leave an abusive relationship, kind of on the QT, like keeping it all to yourself, but all the actual physical steps to do.
Right.
You know, what to do when. It's about a 6-month process. So once you believe you're worthy of more, you set the intention to have a life worthy of yourself, and you believe that it's possible, then you can buy a book that she wrote, and I could tell you about it. I think the book is called I Just Want Out, and it's by Jody Jensen Schilke, and it's on Amazon.
Perfect. I'll put that in the show notes.
That's really good.
So the first step is believing you're worthy, or believing you're worthy of more, right?
Yes.
That's the tricky part. So that's probably the main ingredient, but probably also the main, the hardest thing to develop.
Right.
Help me out. How do I develop that?
Okay, so worthiness. Okay, all right. So first of all, you have to shift your belief about yourself and who you are. Right. This is where this worthy piece. So I got a really great tool that I love. I'm just going to do it on you, okay?
Okay.
So, because this will be a great demonstration. It's my favorite worthiness tool. I take my clients through who are a little lacking in the worthiness department. And it's really not their worthiness that is degraded. It's their perception of their worthiness that's degraded. And that'll be apparent at the end of this little tool.
Okay.
All right. So, Michael, do you know anybody have you ever been in contact with a newborn baby?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that newborn, they do 5 things, right? They cry and they sleep and they eat and they poop and they puke. And that's about it, right?
Yeah.
They're not really capable of loving people when they're newborns. They're not capable of doing anything important or worthy, right? They're just not capable. They just do those 5 things. That's about it. But let me ask you this. Are newborn babies worthy of love and attention and affection?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Now let's move on to, say, a toddler. Have you ever known any toddlers?
Yeah.
Okay. I have 3 kids, and they were toddlers at one point. And, I'm in the supermarket, coming out, I got the cart and trying to get everybody in the car, 3 kids, blah, blah, blah. One goes running off, and I'm like, ah! Right? Chase after him, grab him by the hand, start yelling at him because I'm so scared, right?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm yelling and yelling and yelling and putting them in the car. Don't you ever do that to me again, blah, 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 right? So that kid did something that scared the crap out of her parent. But is that child still worthy of love and attention and affection?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Excellent point. Now, I just want to make a little sidebar here. The first time a kid gets yelled at, they don't have the mental capacity to say, what I did scared my parents and that's why they're yelling.
Mm-hmm.
What they do is when they're praised, they feel loved. So when they're not praised or when they're reprimanded, they associate it with the opposite of love or the lack of love. But that's not true. Because do you have anybody that you know of that you love, but sometimes you don't praise their actions?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Are there people that you really praise their actions, but you don't necessarily love?
Yeah.
Okay. So love and praise are not synonymous, but the child's brain makes them synonymous.
Yeah.
The child says love equals, praise equals love. So I have to keep getting praise. Or if I'm not getting praised, I must be unloved. So then when they get yelled at for running around, they automatically feel unloved, and it's not too far a cry before they feel unlovable.
Mm-hmm.
Get reprimanded, which is almost certainly not the parent's intention. Usually
Right.
parents are so scared, and that's the whole motivation. Everything is, I love you and I'm afraid, I love you and I'm afraid, I love you and I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
But the child's mind is not sophisticated, so it says, I'm unlovable. And then, because our brains are hardwired to believe what we already, hardwired to find evidence of what we already believe,
Mm-hmm.
and the next time we get yelled at, we go, see, I'm unlovable. See, I'm unlovable. See, I'm unlovable. And this is what begins our degradation of our perception of being worthy.
Yeah.
But now let's move this kid up into being a teenager. I have 3 teenagers. Okay. So sometimes they're angry teenagers. Do you know any angry teenagers? Have you heard? Maybe you were one. I don't know.
I was definitely one.
Okay. Angry teenager maybe swears at his mother. Right?
Maybe.
Yell, scream, swear, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, in this kid, or maybe puts a fist through a window. That may have happened in my house.
Right.
Is that kid still worthy of love and attention and affection, even in their worst moments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Okay. So, my question to my clients and to anybody out there who's feeling unworthy, at what age did it change for you? At what age do you become unworthy? Or is it maybe that you never did? Just like the newborn, that toddler, that teenager, despite your actions, despite what you've accomplished or not, like the newborn,
Mm-hmm.
despite anything, that maybe you're worthy of love, attention, affection just because you exist, just like that newborn.
Right.
And it's not even, well, and I want to go backwards. It's not even because, just I am worthy, period. Not I am worthy because I help other people. I am worthy because I'm a good friend. I am worthy because whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because praise me. No, just I am worthy, period.
Right.
Okay? So we don't age out of worthiness. Okay? But somehow as adults, we feel like we have to earn it, or unless we get outside validation, we don't believe it. Those are the pitfalls.
Right.
And it really stems from that child who's not sophisticated enough to take I love you and I'm afraid as I love you and I'm afraid. They take it as I'm unlovable because you're not praising me at this moment.
Right. And a lot of times when the parents are afraid, like let's just say there's a kid hanging out the window because they want to be a monkey from the 3rd story window, right? Mm-hmm. I might have done this. and my parents just spanked the crap out of me, right? Not because they're mad I'm hanging out the window. They're mad that I'm going to fall and hurt myself.
They're afraid.
You know?
Love you. They're afraid.
Yeah, but they're not communicating that as they're smacking me.
And this is the other part of the equation. The humans, we go from 0 to emotion in 0.0 seconds. I mean, like, bam. But what's happening that we miss is every emotion you've ever felt is caused by a thought. Every emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So when we go straight to that emotion center, not stopping to think about, well, what's really going through our head, right? I mean, there's not that much time to waste when the kid's hanging out the window.
Right, yeah.
You're like, yes, that's the situation. See what I'm thinking? oh, Michael, I love you, and I'm afraid if you hang like a monkey, you're going to fall out the window to your death. Right? There's just not that much time.
Yeah.
So just react. But it's almost, it's just almost always, I love you and I'm afraid. Now, sometimes it's not, I'm afraid for you. Like in that case, they're afraid for you, right?
Right.
But sometimes it's, I love you and I'm afraid for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when it comes to disciplining, we're afraid of what other people think of our parenting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I do something because I'm afraid to get picked on about my parenting from somebody else. So maybe that's the source of my actions. So it's not always I'm afraid for the person I love. I might be afraid for me. And same with parents or bullies or other people, in relationships.
Right.
They're afraid for themselves sometimes.
Right. It's like when people are very closed off and guarded, or accidentally they're like an asshole to everybody because they don't want anybody to get close, because their last 3 relationships they got super close to somebody and it didn't work out, or they had a friend stab them in the back, and now they're so calloused towards everybody else, they don't even know it's just a defense mechanism, and then they project that on other people, and then other people say, well, this person doesn't love me.
Right.
Maybe he loves you, he just doesn't know how to show love.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. There are people have all the time, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I can hear you again.
All right.
She's back.
I'm back. Got a little noisy.
Yeah. Is it like echoing over there, or like?
No, it's just static.
Oh, really?
Static. That's what I'm getting. Really bad static.
All I get is silence when you're hearing the static. I just get silent.
Oh, all right. So I don't remember what I was saying.
That's okay.
I think I was saying, I know. I was saying the people, when they put up these walls, the wall works 2 ways. The person, oh, you can't hurt me, right? So I can't let stuff in. Well, they're not letting out any good in either.
Right.
Keeping the bad out, but they're keeping the good out. And then with that wall, their own good, they're stopping that from coming out as well.
Right.
And really, it's a belief that other people can hurt you, and emotionally. Okay, physically, it's very true.
Right.
But when you recognize that you are completely worthy, and that everyone else's actions are just because they're all walking around in fear boots, tainted by their own experiences, right? When you realize that that's all they're doing, you realize that you're actually untouchable.
Right.
Nobody can really hurt you.
Yeah.
When you believe their words, you hurt you, but it's because you're the one believing them. You don't have to choose to believe their words.
Yeah, it's like if someone's like, Mike, you're fat. I'm like, it wouldn't affect me at all because I know better. You know? But if I'm like, oh, maybe I am, maybe I have gained a couple pounds. If you're hurt by someone's words, it's because somewhere inside you might believe that it's true. So all you have to do is go inside and figure out, is it true? And if it is true, do I have any control over it? Like, let's just keep the weight situation because it's easy to work with, right? Like, okay, you know what? That person did hurt me by calling me fat. Do I have any control over that? Is it true? No, maybe I gained a couple pounds. I gained 10 pounds. But the reason I feel shitty when he says that to me is because I'm living below my standard. So I do have control over that, right? I can, because I haven't, given up pizza or ice cream or donuts yet.
Right. Well, here's the thing. It's what you make it mean, too, right? First of all, it's a judgment, and it's completely subjective. One person's idea of fat is another person's idea of skinny. And same with your own, right? It's completely subjective. And if you make it mean, I'm unattractive, right? And you believe that too, then it becomes even more hurtful. But it's really, doesn't have to hurt at all when someone says something like that. You can, they're throwing out judgments because they're judging themselves. So basically the best thing to do in a case like that is just hold up a metaphoric mirror and just realize that this is the judgment that they're having. And if they were non-judgmental people, don't throw out insults.
Yeah.
People who have good relationships with themselves. If you ever know someone who's like really comfortable with who they are, they're probably the least judgmental person. They're just comfortable. And they recognize like there's no such thing as perfection. And I'm really comfortable with being imperfect. So I'm not judging other people for being imperfect.
Right.
It's the people who are so darn judgmental about themselves, to themselves, that have the worst daggers that come
Right.
out.
Yep. So like example, if someone's calling, let's just say I'm calling someone fat, right? So I'm calling someone fat. What that's saying about me is that the only thing I find worthy about myself is that I'm not fat, or that I'm skinny, or that I take fitness seriously, right? So everybody focus on how in shape I am, because I don't really have anything else to consider, worthy or valuable to the world. I'm just in shape, so I have to call other people skinny or fat or whatever to make myself feel better.
Yeah, yeah, that happens too. And when we see people who when we're perceiving ourselves as being, we're judging ourselves to being at a certain place. Then when people up here, our egos don't like that. It's difficult to hang around with those people. So we gotta bring them down, pull them down, right? Yeah, that's all that is. And when you recognize that someone's just trying to pull you down, and that's all again in their own mind, and you have no control over their thoughts or their mouth. You have no control. You can just have some compassion. Wow, this person must really not have a great relationship with themselves.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel bad for them, right?
Yeah. So let's just say that I'm the person when I get insulted, I believe that person. So now I have to go internal, right? Why do I believe this person? So once I figure out that I have to go inside, how do I change that? How do I just let go of what this person's trying to project on me?
Okay, well, generally what's happening is, again, remember I said your brain is hardwired to find evidence of what you already believe to be true.
Yeah.
If this is bothering you, you must believe it's true. So what you got to do is you got to give your brain evidence to the contrary, because your ego hates to be wrong. And so
especially mine.
If you goes, it's blue, but then there's all this evidence that it's green and orange and purple and brown.
Yeah.
Then your brain goes, wait a minute, it's not blue, right? Because I've got new evidence, right?
Yeah.
So one of the best things to do is to play the opposite game. So if someone says you're fat, right? Think of at least 3 reasons how that's not true.
Right.
At least 3 reasons, right? And that's usually not that hard to do.
Right. Because it's relative too. I can compare myself to a 700-pound man.
That's right. So relative to this person, I'm not fat, right?
Right.
You look at your hand, you go, this finger is not fat, right? You can, right? My nose is not fat.
Right.
You can find evidence of how it's not true. That's the best thing to get your brain to start to let go of that belief, to give it evidence to the opposite, to the contrary. And the more evidence you give it to the contrary, the easier it will be for your brain to let go of that belief.
Right.
And then it'd be, next time someone calls you fat, it'd be like they just said you're 8 feet tall. You'd be like, that doesn't even make sense. Okay?
Yeah. So you're collecting, so you're training your RAS, your reticulating activating system, to look for evidence of I'm not fat, right? And then if I gather enough references, all of a sudden my brain's like, okay, now we can form a belief.
A new belief.
A new belief.
A new belief.
Right.
Or just drop the old one. It just doesn't make sense anymore. Like you don't walk around with the belief I'm not 8 feet tall. You just know whatever, right? It's just like, what? Right?
Yeah.
So it's not that you always have to have a new belief like I'm skinny. You don't have to replace it. It's just the original belief doesn't hold water anymore. It just doesn't make sense, and your brain will drop it.
Right. Good. Hopefully people can use some of that, because it's tricky when you're stuck in your own head and you're just sitting there believing everything people project on you, right?
That's right. You're your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
You're your biggest bully.
Yeah. Or
it.
It's just those people are confirming your crappy belief already. Like, oh, I'm out of shape. This person just called me fat. Like, dang it, I knew it. Like, yeah, it's just so hard. So, what if you're working with a client? Like, how can people work with you? Where can they find you again? I don't want to keep you all day, but I want people to be exposed to you and what you can help them through. So, tell me.
All right,
all the different ways.
A couple of places. First is I have a great Facebook page where I do little mini workshops, like free videos that are out there once a week. I throw one out there. And sometimes I put little other snippets. There's a lot of great graphics, inspirational graphics, things like that. Always go up on the page every day. And that is on Facebook, look up Linda Bucher Life Coach. And I'll spell Bucher, it's Bucher.
Okay.
Also, my website is lindabucher.com. And it's got two sides to it, the life coaching side and then the side for the coaches. If there's any coaches listening who like the tools that I use and you want to mentor with me, I have a mentoring side of my website. And for the people who are who would like to work with a life coach and are just like saying, I'm ready, I'm really ready to move forward with something like this.
Yeah.
The first step to doing that is to get to apply for a clarity session. It's on the house.
Okay.
I do them for free, but it has to be people. It's only for people who are like, okay, I'm all done. I'm not spending another day where I'm at. I'm ready to invest in myself, in my future, and go get that life that I want.
Right.
I don't know what it looks like, but I'm ready to invest in getting the clarity and the confidence to have it, and identifying what it is. Right.
Yeah.
So for that, it's an hour. They can spend an hour on the phone with me or on Skype. It works too. And I help them get really clear on what's really going on, clear on what's in their way, what the obstacles are, give them specific next steps and what to do to bridge the gap from where they are to where they want to be. And if it's not even clear on where they want to be, we work on that too during that call. So that's like the initiation into like working with me specifically one-on-one.
Right.
So that's just clarityonthehouse.com. That's kind of a quick way to get to that.
Okay. And that's not for people that just kind of want to, I kind of want to have a better life. It's people like, all right, I'm sick of being in this situation. I'm sick of believing this about myself, and I'm done with it.
I'm all done.
I'm making a decision, and I'm moving forward.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And then, like I said, there's other resources for people who are moving in that direction for sure. Like I showed you this one earlier. I got this Power Shift, a take action guide for victims of circumstance. That is coming out this week.
Okay.
And that is really a really cool product. It's got 3 videos that I made and worksheets, because this is work you have to do. This is work it comes from within. So these worksheets are huge. And that is going to be coming out really soon. That's I will put it all over my website, and it'll be all over my social media page, on my Facebook page. Yep. And it's coming out, like when I say soon, I mean like in a week. So really soon.
By the time they see this, it'll probably be out.
It'll be out. Yeah, that would be great. And I think I have a direct URL to it called powershiftguide.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Something similar.
Somewhere. Yeah. I don't know.
Either way, we'll figure it out. We know how to find you.
They'll be able to find it by the time they see it. So that'd be great. And that's a really great way if you're kind of on your way and you want to shift that power back into your court, so you can go from victim of circumstance to hero of your life, because that's what you need to move forward and go identify what you deserve and go get that life.
Right. Or I hate my life now to I love my life.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, it's called Power Shift for a reason.
Right.
It shifts the internal power in a huge way. So yeah. So that's going to be really great for people who are like moving on their way but aren't really, ready to, invest in life coaching, because that's a big commitment, time, energy, resources, like 3 months.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Well, I want to take a minute, Linda, and just let you know that the work you're doing is very important in the world. And I'm grateful for people like you that are willing to put themselves out there and commit to helping, help make it through all the crap that they've dealt with. So I appreciate that, and I'm grateful for people like you.
Thank you. I feel honored and blessed to be able to do this work. This is my calling, and to do what you love and know that it matters is the very best thing in the whole world.
Yeah. Well, I hope we can talk again, and thank you for stopping by.
Oh, thank you, Michael. I had a blast. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.